What is going on out there, peeps? Alrighty, let's get into what's going on in Iraq. And in case you're just now finding out, I got the boot off Facebook. So both my profiles and I believe the group, The Hidden Things Are in Front of Your Eyes, has been removed, but Pimpy's investment chat is still there. All right. So the thing is, I can't post in Pimpy's investment chat. So if you guys could be so kind as to take this video and link it to the group so others can see it, I surely would appreciate it. All right. Again, if you're not thinking about precious metals, you should. It looks like I started to make a little run this morning. I haven't checked it real recently, but we're keeping an eye on it. All right. So if you guys want to buy some precious metals, please give a consideration over to our friends over at Money Metals Exchange. The link is in the description. If you buy more than a half ounce of silver, or I mean, if you buy more than $100 worth of precious metals, use promo code Pimpy, Pimpy, and you will get a free half ounce of silver. Is what I was trying to get out of my pie hole. All right, you guys. So this is the last platform that I have at the moment as I continue to look at the other ones that I want to jump all over. Okay, so if you want to come follow me and join me over here on Twitter, the link is in the description. All right, so again, over this past week, I did a like in the middle of the night update on. There's so much talk right now about the Iraqi exchange rate going up, going down. Either way, I keep telling you guys, I sometimes we got to pump the brakes on this. I know it's some of the news is exciting sometimes, and then the other part of the news sometimes is not exciting. So you can't get overly excited when it's good news or overly down when it's bad news. We don't care about all the chitter chatter. We only care about what they do. Okay. And so I know it has spurt a little bit of people wanting to buy some more dinar. I told you guys that UK Dinar FX switched their name because people didn't realize that they were switching internationally because it said UK on there, okay? So they said, let's just make that correction because that's false. They do. They ship worldwide. See this? So if you're interested in buying some Iraqi dinar, come on over here to NESARA shop. The link will be in the description. They figured they would use this name. This would be more like something you guys can relate to, okay? So they do have other currencies. They have the Zimbabwe dollars, the Vietnam dong, as well as the Indonesia rupiah, all right? So, because with all this chatter about the Iraqi dinar, some of you guys are getting a little pumped up, but like I tell you guys, just, make sure you have, if you're going to spend money, make sure it's your discretionary funds. All right, let's get back into this again, because yesterday, again, more chat about the exchange rate. Let's see what's going on today. Central bank governor stresses the importance of strengthening bank relations between Iraq and France. It's not just them. Iraq has got to get off these blacklists. They've been labeled a country that is funneling and laundering money for terrorists, which we're starting to see that's not the case no more. Money laundering, I mean, all that stuff. And so since Al-Qademi has been in office, he has gone a long ways to fix all that. So I'm happy about that. So anyways, here we go. The governor of the central bank. So what did he say? The Central Bank of Iraq said in a press statement that the governor of the Central Bank of Iraq met Monday with the French counterpart within the framework of the visit, which will include 3 European countries, and the meeting that took place in the building of the French Central Bank included discussing bilateral relations between the two countries. All right, again, I'm sure what's happening is, you can see right here, it says, for his part, the governor of France Central Bank affirmed that there is a full readiness to develop banking relationships and cooperations between the two countries in the areas of supervision and combating money laundering and terrorist financing. That's always going to be the concern for any country that's dealing with Iraq. I think with the upgrades in their systems, it's going to be a little easier to catch the corrupt people. We will see. Parliamentary Finance reveals the date of delivery of the salaries for October. Look at these little packets. Don't they look beautiful? I noticed they're the lower denominations. Did you guys notice that? Curious. So a member of the Finance Committee said the salaries will not be delayed, as happened last month, and our expectations are that they will be distributed in the last 2 days of the month, and the Iraq street and situation does not bear a repetition of the same scenario that happened last September. Yeah, that was kind of BS. It was going back and forth. The House of Representatives may, in any case, vote on an internal borrowing law and legislate it, but it is not in this form that was sent by the governor, noting that the House of Representatives and legislations of the law did not have anything to do with salaries and that mortgaging the salaries of the employees in the House of Representatives is not correct. Basically, what it's saying is there's no excuses for dragging ass like he did. Get the people paid, and I support that 100%. We already seen the same article. Al-Kadhimi, during his meeting with Castics, the governor seeks strong relations with countries of the world and restore Iraq to its international status. This is, it's really exciting to see this because it's big on many level. But first and foremost, this is big for the Iraqi people. I'm really pumped for them. I really am. The people all in the Middle East want peace. I showed you guys that tweet from somebody in Iran. They told you guys that Trump is their hope as well. So, again, it's not the people that's the issue. Just like in China, it's not the people. It's their governments or their leaders, all right? So, good. Al-Kadhimi going around, meeting people in person, finding out what they need to do to get back on track. So, Al-Kadhimi had a meeting today in the capital. So during the meeting, they discussed ways to develop bilateral relations between the two countries and strengthen them in the economic, investment, security, and health fields. Again, we want outside investors to come on over, so this will be good. They also discussed the situation in the region and exchanged views on a number of issues. Al-Kadhimi pointed out the importance of strengthening cooperation between the two countries in many sectors, as the government seeks solid relations with the countries of the world based on common interests and to restore Iraq to its international status. And I think they're well on the way of doing that, okay? I really do. So Al-Kadhimi's made a couple of his first stops on a 3-day visit. And so, again, Germany is another place as well. Well, looky here. I do believe I said there was 7 more countries, and the next countries to go would most likely be Jordan and Iraq. The Iraq delegation will discuss in London the normalization between Baghdad and Tel Aviv. That's right, peace in the Middle East. Let's see Iraq now join the Abraham Accord. A prominent Iraqi politician close to the U.S. administration said that the Iraq government delegation discussed the issues of normalizations between Baghdad and Tel Aviv during the European tour, which began yesterday and includes Paris, Berlin, and London. There are millions of Iraqis who write messages through various methods who want normalizations between Baghdad and Israel. I think this is going to be huge. Man, again, I figured the one person who could pull this off definitely would be Trump. Actually, probably more credit goes to his son-in-law, Jared. So I know a lot of people think he's kind of evil looking. He does kind of look freaky, but nonetheless, he's managing to do what a lot of people attempted to do for decades and couldn't get accomplished. So again, it's in writing. People are signing. They're celebrating. But what does that mean? Let's see if it continues or how long it goes on for. Iraq is in dire need of normalization of relations with Israel, and Iraq will not be a sovereign state unless it moves towards normalization with Israel before other Arab countries. Let me repeat that because I still got people pounding me about that part about being a sovereign state. I told you guys what it meant, and they've been working towards that. Iraq is in dire need of normalization of relations with Israel, and Iraq will not be a sovereign state unless it moves towards normalization with Israel before other Arab countries. Remember, Al-Kadhimi went over there saying, respect the sovereignty of Iraq when he was here in the United States. He kept saying that. You know what I mean? Again, we do. Who doesn't? We want them to be a sovereign nation. Okay, this is big. Iraq is very prepared to normalize relations with Israel, and the conditions as well suited. It is possible that the normalization discussion will come from the Najaf government. not from the capital of Baghdad, referring to the Shiite religion authorities. All right, and so again, this is going to be big, but I have a feeling you're going to see. I was expecting this to happen. I think it was last week. So let's see here. I guarantee though, Trump is going to pull this off. He's going to get Iraq aboard this Abraham agreement, and I think Jordan will join her as well. The biggies are going to be seeing him pull this off, and that would be relations with Saudi Arabia along with Palestine as well. Okay? Iraq signs 3 memorandums with France in the field of transportation, agriculture, and education. Again, these are the fields. They need outside investment. They need outside help with development on. All right? I won't get too far in it, but like I said, whenever the Iraq goes to these, or takes their tours around these bigger countries, these memorandums of understanding are what we want to see. That means business. This means outside investments coming in. All right? Al-Qadimi's government is sticking to the white paper. It will restore balance to the economy. So what does that mean for us? We'll see. So the Council of Ministry recently approved in one of its sessions what it called the White Paper for Economic and Financial Reform in Iraq. But the paper has been criticized by officials and specialists, and they consider that it is one of the reasons for the high exchange rate of the dollar against the Iraqi dinar in the past few days. That's not good. So what they're talking about is we don't want the high rate to go up against the dinar. We want the rate for the dinar to go down. In other words, we want to get less dinar for our US dollar. That benefits us if we're holding it, all right? That's what we want to see. We don't want to see the amount of Iraqi dinars you get for your US dollar to go up. That's bad. That's a devaluation, okay? So, again, this talk about the rate change has caused a lot of issues over there, but not just there, also here, especially in my group, a lot of confusion, all right? Alawi said in a statement to his office received by the news addressing the importance of economic challenges in not so easy, and the current crisis is not emerging today and is not related to this government and its procedures because it needs real and radical reform and long-term plans to overcome them. Again, they told you when the reform papers came out, they said it's for future governments, not this government. I think what they're waiting for is after the election, but some of it, in my opinion, will be implemented because it's important. We'll see, okay? But this is more for future governments. In other words, what they're saying is this. So June 6th coming up here is the early elections. What they're saying is first let us get out the Iranian backed politicians, and then we'll do this thing. So the Ministry of Finance, okay, so everyone know that. Alawi, the current stage should witness more cooperation between the executive and legislative authorities in a way that serves the interests of the country and the citizens, pointing to the keenness to hold continuous meetings with the parliamentary committees and representatives as this communication reflects positively on the progress of the Iraq situation. Okay, so again, we know this. We know what the purpose of the papers are, and it has been causing all kinds of problems. That was the video last video I did talking about the Iraqi dinar update rate change talks. So in there, you can see there's a lot of issues going on back and forth. All right, so and here again, the Finance Committee, Iraq Parliament announced on Monday that agreed to refer the borrowing bill to parliamentary next. We'll see what happens. It's supposed to be the reading in the first session. If they're going to do any kind of borrowing, it needs to be internal. It can't be external. You don't want the IMF and you don't want the World Bank involved with loans. Anyways, this is the article that I touched on the last video where you can see back and forth. There's an issue with the exchange rate. There's been rumors leaked to the media about what the rate's going to be. It's causing all kinds of issues with the value of the Iraqi dinar because of the rumors. Anyways, I went ahead and talked about that on the last video. I updated it for you. All right, you guys, so that's it for now. That's what's going on in Iraq. Obviously, if there's any more news that needs to be updated, I will do so. If you guys like the video, I would appreciate it. Hit the thumbs up button. It helps me out. And if you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel. And I surely do appreciate it. Thank you.